The goal for us is always going to be to try to make conference playoffs and to compete for the conference championship. I think maybe people might not be expecting a whole lot out of Franklin and Marshall this year because we graduated two very talented players, but we brought in a very strong freshman class, and I'm really happy with how the returning core of players have kept themselves in shape over the summer. So my expectations are very high for the 2015 season. I think that we have a very good shot of competing for another conference championship title, and we want to do that and then hopefully see how far we can get into the NCAA tournament. We have a trio of very talented seniors coming back for their final season. Alyssa Sanchez has been our libero since her freshman year, and she's really been the anchor of our defense for 4 years, and we expect the same of her this year. Katie Foreman has been a player that has played a lot of different roles for this team. She played middle as a freshman. She's played outside and right side. So she's someone who we feel confident plugging in just about anywhere. And then Kelsey Mahenko is a middle blocker, and she's been a starter since her sophomore year. And Kelsey is a very fast, very talented middle. And she's someone who we think that we're going to depend on a lot this year, especially with the graduation of Juley Harvey from last year. Also returning to the team, we have junior All-American Ellie Ezekiel, who was our leader in kills last season. She really kind of carried the offensive load for the team on her back during the last 3 weeks of our season last year when we had that great run to win the conference championship. So we're hoping for another strong season and some good performances from her this year. Our junior class is very strong for us. We have Rachel Umberger and Emily Gerard returning at the right side position. We have Paris Zambis and Mary Len Weaver returning at the defensive specialist position. We also have Sarah Landry, who is a player that's played all three front row positions, and Allison Edelstein, who will be competing for the setting position. And then in our sophomore class, we also have some talented players. We have Cassie Garrison, who played middle for us last year, Jacqueline LaForgia at outside, Danielle Skelly, who is a setter, and then Shay Murphy, who's a defensive specialist. The two players that we graduated are unquestionably two of the most talented players that F&M Volleyball has seen pass through the program. Juley Harvey was a two-time All-American, two-time All-Region performer, and she has been, one of the kill leaders every single year, one of the blocking leaders. So I think her presence will be missed. And then Caroline Hubbard, who was our setter for 4 years, it's a big loss because she really understood how to run our offense. And Caroline was also 4-time All-Conference, 2-time All-Region. So it's going to be a transition, I think, breaking in a new setter, but I have confidence in the 3 players who are going to be competing for that spot. As far as the incoming freshman class, we have 4 players. The first one is Lydia Bud. Lydia is a setter, and Lydia is very smart and very competitive. She needs to work a lot on her upper body strength, but she's quick, she's athletic. She was a 2-sport athlete in high school, and I think she understands the game of volleyball very well. And just in 2 days, I've seen a lot of improvement in her. The second player is Michaela Grossman. Michaela is a middle hitter, and Michaela is very long. She reaches very high, and she can hit very fast sets, which is something that we look for in our middle blockers. So we're excited to see how Michaela adjusts to our system of offense. The third player is Barbara Kapustin, and she is probably the tallest outside hitter we've ever had, which is pretty exciting. She's about 6'1", and she'll give us a very physical presence on the outside. She can also play middle and right side, so there's a lot of versatility there. And then the final player is Alexa Fry, and Alexa is just a very tenacious, very aggressive defensive player who I think will add a lot of heart and hustle to our gym. The girls came into preseason in very good shape. We did a little challenge system with them over the summer where, we gave them some sprint challenges and things like that, and they all passed those. So we feel very happy with the level of fitness of the team, and that's been a very important component of our success in the past. In addition, I think that they're picking up on changes that we've made either to offense or defense. We're learning a lot of new things this year, and it's really cool for me to see the older players taking the freshmen aside and trying to teach them how we do things. So I'm pleased with how the freshmen are picking up on things. Again, it's only been 2 days, so it's hard to tell how things are going to go long term, but I'm proud of the way that my older players are really trying to coach the younger players and show them what it's like to be a volleyball player at F&M. Our schedule in 2015 is pretty demanding. We're going to be traveling to a tournament at Emory University where we'll be playing 3 Elite 8 teams from the 2014 tournament. So I know that the girls are, number one, looking forward to taking a trip like that, especially to Atlanta. And I know that they're really excited to play some of the top teams in the country. In addition, we're playing teams like an out-of-region team like Randolph-Macon. We're playing at Stevenson again this year. And so I think in addition to those top nationally ranked teams that we're going to be playing at Emory, there's going to be a lot of very strong regionally ranked teams that are also on our schedule. And as always, our conference schedule is going to be really tough. As difficult as it was last year, I think it's going to be even harder this year because there are so many teams in the Centennial Conference who are experienced. A lot of the better teams are very junior and senior heavy this year. So it's going to be even tougher than it was last year to get a playoff spot. So I think the girls are prepared for that, especially considering what we went through last year, going into playoffs as the 5th seed and winning the tournament. We're just trying to take everything one day at a time and focus on, this practice today and then the next practice and then focus on our first game and just really try to take things one step at a time. But the schedule is going to be tough. We're home a lot more, which will be easier on the girls, but it's going to be a gauntlet, I think, again this year in the conference.